Hey guys, this is a battle that has been long awaited. A lot of people have asked me to play him, but here is a battle against Xenon 3120. Okay, keep forgetting those numbers, but here is the battle with him. It is a never-used battle, so hope you enjoy it. Epic battle too. Alright guys, so here it is, the never used match with Xenon3120, and I'm just going to speed up the first part of the battle here because it's really, really long, really, really epic, and I want to get, highlight the end, which is really fun. So I'd lead with my, my Espeon, just hidden power fire it off the bat, doesn't quite die, he sleep powders me, and tries to toxic me, but I stayed in to burn a turn of sleep. Now I go out into Entei and Will-O-Wisp on the switch. I end up getting a Slow King, that's kind of pointless. He gets a Nasty Plot up, which kind of sucks, because now he can Psychic my Politoed for a lot of damage, much more than I would have liked, considering Politoed is a special tank. And he just slacks off, so I know now he has Slack Off, probably Surf and Psychic are its two moves. So I go out into Espeon, basically because I was hoping he'd go for the Psychic here, but he doesn't, so he goes Surf, but I actually survive, which is funny, and I was hoping to get the first turn Wake, but I didn't get it, so yeah, it sucks. So I go out into Pinsir to go for the X-Scissor, but he goes out into a Miltank, which is a physical tank of sorts, obviously, so I don't do a whole lot. I just go into Credilli, because I'm pretty sure Credilli can wall this Miltank, and now I'm just going to set up a Curse. He goes out into Hitmonchan. I'm pretty sure I can live a close combat, so I decide to see what he does, and to see if he's choiced at all. And he's Life Orbed, so I know he's not choiced, and I set up the Toxic on him, which actually was kind of pointless. Don't know why I did that. Oh well. So I go out into Pinsir now, because he resists close combat, and he gets a stupid crit, and that crit sucked. Because now I have, completely red health, which sucks. So I go for the X-Scissor because I know it'd KO after 2 close combats. He goes out into Butterfree basically as Death Fodder, then into Miltank. I guess he wanted Butterfree to see what I'd lock myself into. So, yeah, he goes for the Seismic Toss again on Miltank, and that's going to take out my Credilli. I go out into Entei, which he T-Waves, and that kind of sucks. And he Heal Bells, which sucks because that gets rid of the Toxic and the Burn that I have on Hitmonchan and Slow King. And I'm just trying to go Will-O-Wisp on this thing, but I keep getting Parahaxed or missing. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I kind of want continuous damage on this Miltank because it's going to be a pain in the butt. But I do get the Burn off, and now I'm going to switch. I go out into Meganium, and as you can see, I'm back to normal speed because because I can do the rest of the battle at normal speed. So, yeah, I have this burned Miltank here, and I'm just going to go for the Leech Seed so I can, get some healing on Meganium, not to mention some more damage on Miltank, but he ends up going out into his Hitmonchan again, and, yeah, that is still enough to heal Meganium back to pretty much full health, and I go out into Entei as Death Fodder because, yeah, I just didn't want to Death Fodder or anything else. I knew he was probably going to close combat. Or I was actually kind of fearing the Ice Punch too, so Entei has to go down, and that sucks. So I go out into Pinsir, and I'm just going to go close combat here. I was kind of thinking maybe he'll go out into Miltank, so I go close combat, but he just stays in, and I'm able to take down the Hitmonchan, which is nice. And now he goes out into Typhlosion, which really, really sucks, because I'm really fearing that this is a Choice Scarf Typhlosion, and I have 2 Pokemon left that are weak to fire. So that's not good at all. So I go out into Politoed, and that's good because he went Flamethrower, but that did a lot more damage than I thought it was, so now I'm starting to think this is a Specs Typhlosion, which isn't quite as bad because now I know my Scarf Pinsir can outspeed it, so that's actually kind of good if it is a Specs Typhlosion like I think it is. So yeah, he goes out into Miltank, and I'm just going to go out into Meganium because Meganium can wall Miltank. He's going to set up the T-Wave, not really that important at this point. So yeah, I decide to set up the Leech... I first go for Aromatherapy to get rid of the T-Wave on Meganium. So that's kind of cool. I got rid of the T-Wave. And his Miltank's still racking up some damage. It's just going to Seismic Toss me. It's its only attack move, apparently, and it's not doing a whole lot to Meganium. It only does 100 a pop. So yeah, now he switches, and then now I go for Leech Seed, and he goes out into Slow King. The only reason I can really think that he went out to Slow King here is Death Fodder, so he can get a free switch basically into his Typhlosion. So yeah, so he goes out into Slow King, and I'm just going to go for the Energy Ball. It's super effective. I just kind of want to see how much it does. And it does a considerable chunk, especially considering Slow King has really good special defense. But yeah, it does a considerable chunk, but it's not. Yeah, he goes for the Psychic. It doesn't quite do anything to me, especially after the Leech Seed and the lefties for me, so that's pretty nice. I set up the Light Screen because I don't want to be taking too much from Psychic. He goes Surf here, not really sure why. I mean, all of my Pokemon would take the same. Well, yeah, all of my Pokemon resist water, except. Yeah. Psychic would have been the better play. I don't know why I went Surf. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, yeah, so I set up the Light Screen, which is good because that means Typhlosion won't be able to do max damage with his attacks against me, and then I just finish him off with Energy Ball. So that was pretty nice. I killed the Slowking, I set up a Light Screen, and he goes out into Typhlosion. Now I have to switch back into Politoed, fearing the Fire-type move, and he goes for the Eruption, which is amazing for me because I take that really, really nicely thanks to the Light Screen and Politoed's epic special defense. So I go for the Surf, figuring that he'll either go out and... because I knew he had Miltank, and I know that Surf would do a lot to Typhlosion, but now he shows me his last Pokemon, which is Gastrodon, which isn't too much of a problem for me. But I want to switch into Meganium because Meganium can completely destroy that thing. But it ends up being a double switch. He goes out into Miltank, and that's not so bad for me because I can set up the Leech Seed on this thing again and try to wall it out. He goes for the T-Wave, I guess hoping for some Parahaxes and to slow my Meganium down a bit. That's what I'm thinking. So he gets the T-Wave off on me. I set up the Leech Seed, which is going to be some more continuous damage in addition to that burn. My Light Screen wore down, I think, last turn, so I have to reset it up again. So I decide to... first I Aromatherapy to get rid of the T-Wave, and he Milk Drinks, which sucks because now his Miltank's back to full health. But yeah, this turn I decide to Light Screen again to get it back up. He's going to T-Wave me again. I guess he's trying to stall out my Aromatherapies because Aromatherapy only has 8 PP after a PP max, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm just going to let him T-Wave me now as I set up the Light Screen again. And now I decide to go out into Pinsir. I was kind of going out as Pinsir as Death Fodder and to get some Life Orb, or sorry, some what's it called? Some Leech Seed healing on it, and he T-Waves me, so I guess he was expecting me to Aromatherapy that turn, I guess he was predicting the switch. It's the only thing he could have been predicting there. So he predicted my switch and T-Waves, and that kind of sucks. So I'm going to just go for the Close Combat. It's super effective, and he Milk Drinks, so he's back to full health again as I Close Combat. And it was a good thing he didn't decide to... Seismic Toss me there? Because that would have killed my Pinsir. So that's a really good thing. And after another Leech Seed gain, I have more than 100 health, so I can live a Seismic Toss, which is epic. And he survives all that turn with red hit points. He's going to Seismic Toss me down to 15 health, and I get Parahax, but that one really didn't matter. In fact, it probably helped me a little, because I end up getting the Leech Seed recovery, which will KO his Miltank. So his Miltank goes down, and he goes back into Typhlosion, and I still have a Light Screen up, so I go out into Politoed, and he makes a good prediction. Well, it was kind of obvious, but he has the hidden power Electric, which really hurts my Politoed, and Light Screen wore off, so I know I can't really live another, because I'm absolutely for sure it's Specs now. So I decide to switch into Meganium. He predicts the switch into Meganium and goes out into Gastrodon, and I'm just going to Aromatherapy to get rid of the paralyzes on Meganium and Pinsir. And this is really good because my Pinsir is Choice Scarfed. He was hoping it was Choice Banded, but my Pinsir is actually Choice Scarfed, so I know I can outspeed the Specs Typhlosion at this point. So he switches into Typhlosion here as I go Light Screen. I set it up just so Politoed can live a hit, whatever it is. And I decide to go on to Politoed here. He goes for the Eruption, which Politoed resists, but is still not going to take that nicely due to the fact Typhlosion is full health. And I'm going to go for the Toxic, because I thought maybe he'd go back into Gastrodon, but he doesn't. And even if I get the Toxic off on Typhlosion, at least that'll weaken Eruption a little. But I missed the Toxic, which actually really sucks. It actually doesn't, well, I lied. It doesn't really hurt me that bad because Pinsir's faster than Typhlosion, but it's one of those things like, wow, that kind of sucks, oh well. So, yeah, I go on to Pinsir now, and now I'm going to Earthquake, and I'm faster because he is Specs just like I thought, and I'm Scarfed, and he was praying that, he said on Skype where we were talking, he was praying my Pinsir was banded, but it's actually Scarfed, which means his Typhlosion goes down, and all he has left is Gastrodon. I'm just going to let him kill Pinsir and then go out into Meganium for the win, because Meganium will be able to definitely one-hit KO with, energy ball. So that was a great game, Xenon3120, epic match. He's a really well-known YouTuber. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description if you haven't heard of him, but he's a really great YouTuber, has great narrations, and likes to do, I think, Neverused is his favorite tier. He likes the lower tiers. So, see you guys next time, and rate, comment, subscribe. Hey guys, real quick, today's question of the day is, what is your favorite game series? I mean, there's a lot to choose from: Pokemon, Final Fantasy. My favorite is the Chrono series. It's only 2 games, but I'm hoping they make Chrono Break or whatever the third one's going to be real soon. Jess, as you can see from the TV, likes Metal Gear. But yeah, today's question of the day is, name your favorite game series, and I hope to see you guys again next time.